All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to, I think this is the first class, right? Before we start, my name is Naomi, by the way, so you can address me as Naomi. And if at any point my voice is cracking, you can't hear me, just like Joshua already said, he can't hear, right? You can always use the chat box to convey the message, and I'll take it from there. If there are questions, no problem. You can keep them. By the end of the class, you can always tell me about the questions and then I'll give an answer to it. So without further ado, let's get down to business. So today we're starting with Canva fundamentals, as you can see on my screen, right? All right. Now, many designers, many graphic designers, they normally comment under people's posts. People that normally use Canva to design by saying, these people using Canva, they are not real designers because they are using Canva, because they didn't start with CorelDRAW, they didn't start with Photoshop. So because they're using Canva, they're not strong designers. But is that the case? Nope, that's not the case, right? Canva is an all-in-one design solution. It's when people say easy things, they refer to it as too easy, or it's not hard work. It's not hard work enough, right? But that is not the case. Canva is an all-in-one design tool. You find everything that you need on Canva, right? It's a global community where over 100 million users worldwide use it to make different projects. It's not just flyers, it's not just banners, it's not just videos, so many things. It is really versatile because you can find everything that you need in Canva. You can be in Canva and design everything you want in Canva without using a second-party app or third-party app to look for stock media, stock photos, to look for element. Because why? It's in Canva. Everything you need, it's in Canva. You don't have to be a professional to be able to use Canva. But of course, you have to practice more to be a professional Canva user. And when you're a professional or an expert, right, one would not be able to differentiate you with someone who uses CorelDRAW or Photoshop. Those are amazing software. Don't hold me by my words, by the way. But people look down on Canva because it's too easy. It has so many templates that people can use, right? If you are a professional in Canva, no one would be able to differentiate you with someone who uses CorelDRAW or Photoshop. But not many people know that. They just think that Canva, it's a baby app, right? But that's not what I think, right? That's not what the people who sat down to create this app thinks, right? Before we continue, by the way, Canva can be downloaded on your phone, on your app, your Play Store app, right? Can be found on the website too. You just have to click on or type in www.canva.com, right? And then move from there. Now, moving forward, how do we get started with Canva? Canva has so many interfaces. Navigating through Canva is super easy. And the fun part is everything is written in English. It's not as complicated as people think it is. I'm going to explain. Now, for a beginner, right, anybody can use Canva, like I said before, and you can start exploring it using the templates that are there. Canva has lots of templates you can start with. People practice with templates, right? There are so many pre-designed layouts for every project in those templates. So when you click on those templates, you know how templates works. There are templates websites, there are templates apps, there are templates web pages. So when you click on them, you can change things. You can change fonts, you can change colors, you can change the background. however you want, right? You can easily find your project, right? So when you design your whatever you want to design, it stays there. It stays in your account as long as you create an account. It stays there so that want to when you want to design that project again, or when you want to refer back to that project, when you want to make an adjustment to that project, you can actually go to your Canva homepage and scroll down to the project, that particular project, by the way, and click on it. You'd be able to do whatever changes you want to actually do. Now, the most fun part is that it is a platform where teams can work on, right? So maybe I'm working on a project, for example, a design, for example, and I want maybe one of my colleagues at my workplace or my friends or family members to help me to finish the design, for example, or to assess the design or to change anything. It's very easy. All you just have to do is to share the project with them, and they can easily make adjustment. It's just like a Google Doc, right? A Google Doc, when you share the link and give access as an editor, right? People can edit what you've written on that Google Doc, and they would be able to make any changes or not, right? Now, talking about the templates, right? People like using, for beginners, actually, they like using this as a head start, right? It's not as if Canva depend on template for you to design. No, you can design from scratch or you can use templates. There are thousands of free, fully customized templates for every occasion, any presentation to social media post, and it saves time, right? It saves your valuable time. It maintains the design consistency across all projects. What does that mean? You're a beginner, for example. You don't know how to create something. You don't know how to create a design. Now you've seen one that actually caught your attention. What do? Very simple. You click on that design, right? And you change the name. For example, you want to create a flyer, for example, for MTN, right? Now you change the name to MTN, obviously, and then you put, there is a motto anywhere you go, right? Something like that. And then the brand color for MTN is yellow. Everybody knows that, even a 5-year-old knows that, right? So you change the background, the color to be yellow, right? So anywhere you see a compromising color, you change it to yellow. This is maintaining the design consistency. And that is because you don't know how to design. You're a beginner, actually. So you're using that template, but you're changing everything to fit what you want. If there's a particular element in it, you can remove, right? And that is just how it is. There is also auto generates like an AI generating flyer. You can generate flyer with AI on Canva. I think it's an additional software they've integrated on the platform. Now, how do we keep a simple and consistent design? I think in 2 weeks ago, I was teaching a design class, design fundamental. That was design fundamental 2, right? It's divided, design fundamental 1 and design fundamental 2. So I've already taught them about design fundamental 1. So this was design fundamental 2. And in that class, I helped them to understand that 3 things are very, very vital when designing. And if you don't get those 3 things or 3 structures, you're going to miss it. And when you eventually miss it, your design is going to look like trash. And we don't want our design to look like trash anyway. So what are those 3 things? Brand color. We do not want to have anything more than 5 colors on a design. If not, it's going to look like trash. Secondly, the font. You want to stick to a font that works, right? I think for a flyer, what works is sans serif, right? And there's one other font, the Montserrat, works for designs, right? Now, what is the last thing? The last thing is the structure. The structure, how you arrange everything. Is the photo supposed to come first? Is the font supposed to come first? Are the elements supposed to be behind? That is layouting your designs to appeal. Okay, that was what we talked about in the design fundamental 2. Typography, font, brand color, layout. Very, 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 very important, right? Now, if you're designing, your font and color harmony is very, very essential. You want to stick to one font or 2 fonts, 1 or 2. Else your design is going to look like trash again. Now, you want to use a consistent color palette. Remember what I said about brand color. So it's yellow, blue, and red, right? Or it's green, yellow, orange, for example. So you should be having minimum 3 brand color, maximum 5. Minimum 3, maximum 5, at least. Now, clarity over cluster. What does that mean? If you're creating a slide like this one that I have on my screen, what do you want to keep in mind? What do you want to prioritize, right? The first thing is making sure that every slide, right, have one key point that you must put in to be able to engage your readers, right? Your audience, for example. Now, if you see on my screen, these slides I have here. Now, if you notice, not all of them they don't have the same design. There are different design, and this is what is going to keep you guys hooked. This is what is going to keep the audience hooked, because they are different design, different elements. They're not just one, it's different, right? So that is what it means by clarity over cluster. You want to make sure that there is one thing that actually make that slide, right? That makes that slide stand out from the previous and from the next one that is actually coming. And everything should be arranged in an order that doesn't look like trash. Having a balanced layout, still kind of the same thing, but keeping everything balanced. Now, if you look on this screen, right, the design I have here, this slide I have here, now we can see that there is a topic ahead. Up here, design principles, keep it simple and consistent. Now, if you notice, this the font is bigger than the one down here, and this one is bigger than the one down here. Perhaps this one is bold, perhaps this one is bold, right? And they're inside boxes, right? Now, this layout is really appealing. It's able to differentiate the points, able to point out the outlines, right? So that we can see that, oh, it's actually 3 points we have on this screen. The first, font and color harmony. The second, clarity over clutter. And the third, balanced layout, right? So we want to keep everything in a balanced view so that our audience, right, would be able to differentiate what is here, what is there, and what is at the middle, and all of that. Now, the next one we're going to see is powerful editing tools at your fingertips. So, like I said before, many people assume that Canva is a baby tool, right, for a designer. And anybody who uses Canva to design, they literally don't know how to design. Is that true? I'm going to say no. No again. So the way Canva is designed, don't worry, I'm going to share my screen and show you the home page of Canva so that when you want to go back and practice on it, you won't get it wrong. Okay? It's simple, drag and drop. You just have to drag and drop, or you just have to click on it. The icons, the shape, the videos, the audio you want to use would appear. All you just have to do is to touch on the element, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, we can continue now. So, all you just have to do is to drag and drop. For example, you're looking for a star shape. All you just have to do is to go to element, search the word star. If you want shining star, you can type in the word shining star. If you want glitter, you can type in glitter. And it's going to give you so many options. And you just have to drag and drop. You would see it again. For some of us who have used Canva before, you would likely understand what I mean. For those of us who have not, you just have to search on the word after clicking element and search on whatever you want to search on, and then drag it, right, and drop. As easy as that. Now, you can literally find any photo, any icons, shapes, videos that you're looking for in Canva. Unlike other apps or other design tools that you literally have to use Google Photos, right? You have to go and download your element from Google or from Chrome or from Opera Mini or anything, right? Just to get that particular element. But with Canva, no, you don't have to do that because you have it in Canva already. You can literally stay on Canva the whole time and design a complete design, project, flyer, and literally download as easy as that without using a third party or a second party tool. Now you can also customize font. It has so many different type of font, so many, right? And to an extent, it's you can use all the font that is if you are using the paid version. But if you're not using the paid version, you still gain access to so many fonts, right? So the fonts are actually customizable, and it is very, 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 very easy to use. Like I said before, you can click on it and that font will appear, or you can drag and drop as usual. Right. You can also use the Magic Studio photo editing place to edit a photo. You can remove background with the AI tool. You can add effects to your images with ease. This is just one of the features, one out of the many features that Canva literally have to offer. Now, I mentioned before that you can work with a team in doing a project. Maybe, for example, you're doing a slide for a show, for an event, right? You and your team can work on the same project at the same time or not. All you just have to do is to click on the collaborate button at the person's Gmail, and the person can edit together with you in one place, right? So if you can tell the person to work on slide 2, you can tell the person to work on slide 5, and just like that, you people would be able to create a stunning design within within a small period of time, actually. And another thing it does is that, so when designing, for example, still on the slide project, right? When designing it, don't get me wrong, you can also collaborate, whether it's a slide or not. So it can be a little video, it could be a flyer, it could be a banner, it could be anything, right? So when designing, actually, you can leave a note. Maybe, for example, you don't want to call the person, you don't want to leave a message, you can literally communicate on that platform on Canva. So you know that situation or that scenario whereby you drop a comment on something, someone posts a video, you drop a comment, you would have left your hair, you would have used black color, something like that. Now you can leave a comment, right, on that design. If the person give you access to the design, right? You can leave a comment like, maybe you want to use red color, maybe you want to use raining effect on this place, maybe you want to use this, right? So leaving a comment too is another feature that Canva actually have to give. Now, here comes the best part. You can export your creation as PDF, PPTX, just like this one. This is a PPTX format. JPG, you can also present directly from Canva, right? And you can also download in any quality, 1080 pixel, 2K, 4K, the quality, the exporting quality can also be adjusted actually. And that is it. It's really, really easy. When you're done, you can just download and you're free to go. You can also upload directly to a Google Drive without without you downloading to your system or to your phone. You can immediately send it to a Google Drive, right? Once and for all. That is another feature. Actually, it's a new feature, by the way, that you can actually put in mind or keep in mind too. Now, there are also advanced features that we can actually explore in Canva. What are the advanced features? Now, you might have heard of motion graphics, where your logo can be, or your logo can actually be moving, right? Be in motion or anything, right? So Canva gives you that opportunity to do that. You can add animations, transitions, motion graphics to your presentation to make it truly captivating. You can also add interactive polls and quizzes to engage your audience during live presentation. I'm sure you guys know what polls is and what quizzes are, right? So that poll is when maybe someone wants to vote for something. Do you like rice, beans, or spaghetti? So you can choose one, right? So maybe 5 people chose spaghetti, 10 people chose beans, and 50 people chose rice, right? So that is a poll. Now, quizzes, like when you answer questions, you can make that possible using Canva too. Also, an interactive question and answer session with Canva Live, right? And so on and so forth. Now, Canva also, have a design school, digital certification. You can earn recognized Canva certification professionally to show your design proficiency. So even if people say, no, Canva is a baby app, it's for young people, it's for people who don't know in what they're doing in design, is for those content creators who doesn't know how to do. That is bullshit. Really, it doesn't make sense. When you go to TikTok and type in Canva designs, you're going to be blown away, because at this point, I feel like Canva has even started to surpass those people who claim to think that CorelDRAW or Photoshop are like the best design to ever. No, they're best, they're good, but when you can use Canva real well, you will not be able to differentiate yourself with those people who actually uses those apps. And the fun part, you design with Canva with no stress. You find everything there. You are able to resize everything properly. You are able to do things freely. And that is what people are actually angry about. Why would you make design so easy? That is what they're literally angry about. And, it saves you a lot of time. So that's just literally it. Now, I said I was going to show you how the platform is, right? So please give me a minute to also um to show you, please. Your Play Store, it's an iPhone or Apple product, right? And then you just have to click on canva.com. So please give me a moment to share my screen again. So by now, you should already be thinking, what do I want to design with Canva? How am I going to start with Canva? What or how does it possibly look like on Canva, right? Okay. So let's see. Yeah, so canva.com on Google or on yes, Safari, Chrome, Opera Mini, and so on and so forth. So this is the homepage of Canva, right? The homepage of Canva. And remember what I talked about, that you could literally see the designs, the projects you've done before here, right? And actually click on it to edit more. Now you can create flyers, sheet docs, whiteboard, presentation, social media posts. Remember those Instagram social media quotes? You can literally find any templates. If you want to open an online or faceless brand on Instagram, you can literally do that using Canva, right? So I can literally search. What do I want to search? What do I want to search? Okay, so let's do something practical, A CV. Let's start with a CV. Okay, so I have so many templates I could use, so many graphic templates I can use. And you might be thinking, how would I make this look like what I want to do, for example? I'm going to click on this, right? This is a template, for example. This is a template. And now I want to customize it. I just click on customize and let's wait for that to load. And you might be thinking, can you literally do this on a phone? Yes, you can do this on a phone. Most times when I'm designing and my laptop just go off, I literally just switch to my phone because I have the same Gmail connected on my laptop to my phone too. I'll just switch in and continue. So there's nothing like, oh, because my laptop went off and that is why I could not finish the design. It's not going to make your client to trust you, okay? It's not going to be like that. So you can literally continue on your phone. I know of a designer who uses Canva and his laptop got bad, but he didn't stop there. He continued designing. Why? Because it's really, really easy to use on a phone too. Now, this might be too far for me to design. I could literally just zoom in, right? So I'm using my two fingers on my system to zoom in, right? You can do that with your phone too. You can pinch your screen and zoom in. Now, this is not me. This is not my name. I could change that. Now, all of these boxes that you're seeing is to show you that you can customize it to however you want on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to click on, first of all, I'm going to change the name, right? So I'm going to change it to, for example, well, it's Pearl. Yeah, what am I? Graphics designer. So this person is a sales rep, but I'm a graphic designer. Graphics designer. Yeah. Now, I don't want my face to show here. I don't want the face. So I'm just going to delete this. Delete. Now it's asking delete image or delete frame. If I delete image, there's still going to be a picture there. So if I have a picture of mine, I'll just have to drag and drop from where it says upload. So I can upload a picture using this. I'll just click on upload. What do I want? Is there a picture here for me? Is there a picture here for me? Okay. So I don't think there's a picture here for me. Okay. There is no picture. But if there's a picture, I just have to click on let me see what element, what picture, a black lady, for example. Black lady. Okay. Do I want to use this picture or do I want to use this real photo? Let's use a real photo to make this practical, but you can choose not to, by the way. So I want something close so I can use this. Now, this is what I mean by drag and drop. Drag and drop. Okay. So let's try that again. Drag, drop. Perfect. So it fits, right? This is what I mean by drag and drop. So you can literally adjust it to however you want, right? But I don't want a picture. I just remove this. Delete, delete, image, delete. Yeah, so there's no picture here, right? Yeah, so this is how I want it to be. No picture at all. I can do this. I can just widen it. Yeah, so that is how it works. If I don't want a picture, I can remove it. If I want a picture, I can remove it. Now you can literally edit anything that you want here to change it to dim fit a CV for yourself or for a client, right? You can change the phone number just like now, put anything you want to put 0812345, the number. You can remove this if you want to remove, or you can change it literally. You can change this color, right? So this is where you click for colors. You can change the color to any color you want to change actually, or you can just remove it, right? Now that is how it works. Now remember when we talked about element, this was where I came for element, right? Remember what we also talked about? You can literally find anything you want to find here. So I want to find maybe, for example, shadow. Shadow. Let's look for a shadow. A shadow. Now you can look. There's different type of shadow, right? This is a shadow, for example. Yeah. So that is how it worked. And remember when we talked about collaboration? Do you see where it says Genial here with a white picture, right? So I can click here and add any name or email that I want to also collaborate with me on this design. So when I add the person email, I've invited them and they will just have to accept the invitation and they'll start designing with me. Remember when we talked about background remover? You can remove background by clicking on this. Now, back to the font that we talked about. This is the font that is being used on this this was the font that was being used, right, on this design. It's TT Drugs. If I click on this, I would find so many fonts to use. Now, remember what I talked about? There is literally so many fonts that you can use. Now, these are the fonts. There's Montserrat, there's Open Sans, there's Poppins, there's Glacier Indifference, there's Leak Spantan, Anton. There's so many fonts. And if you have a font in mind that you've been using before, right? Or maybe a client said you should use for his or her design. All you just have to do is to type it here, and the person's font that he suggested will appear. You just have to click on that, and that will work. You can reduce the font size here, increase it there. You can make it bold. You can change the text color, right, with any color. If you have a brand color, you can add the brand color, right? And whenever you want to design for that particular client for yourself, you'd be able to use it with ease. Now, I know most of you have been saying, try Pro for 30 days, Pro. Actually, Canva, they've made it so easy for us that even the price per month is not that expensive, right? Once you have decided that you want to design, right, 2,800, right? It's for a month, right? So you can subscribe to it, and every of the feature would be open to you for 2,800, and you can use for a month, and you just keep on subscribing. So when you start making money out of it, right, you wouldn't even notice that you were subscribing to Canva, or you wouldn't even notice that something is actually even coming out of you. When you're done with your design, you can click on share. When you click on share here, you're going to see what says download. So when you click on download, you would see this that says PDF standard. Do you want a PDF? If you don't want a PDF, you can click on this. You can see JPG, PNG, PDF, PDF print, a video, GIF, PPTX, right? That is so many options or formats that you can literally download with. So this is where I want to stop, right? To see if you have questions. So before I started this class, I said, if you have questions, you can keep it, write it, and then when we're done, you can tell me about your question. So this is the opportunity for you to, tell me if you have questions before we continue. So 1 minute for you to gather your thoughts. If you have questions, you can ask me. All right. So there are no questions, but in case you have questions and you're too shy to tell me, you can just use the chat box. I'll pick it from there. Okay. All right. This is really, really interesting. And I love the fact that the questions are really, really challenging ones. This just shows that we're ready to crush things. Very good. So Emmanuel asked how to locate the element on Canva. And Esther also asked how to design videos. Now, it's a good thing you were specific about the videos that you mentioned. Like, for example, maybe a ad for Pepsi company, if it's Pepsi, yeah, Pepsi company. Now, first of all, the first question. Now, on my screen, where you have design element here. So after design element, you click on the element. Yes, here. So you want to search for the element you want. So element can be pictures, anything that you're looking for. Anything. It can even be a shape, for example, maybe star shape. Yes. Yeah, so it gives you different type of star shape, for example. Yeah, so there's different type. Now, what if you just want a frame to put in a picture of star, right? So you can use this, right? You can resize it, right? And use, for example, and then you can put a picture inside. This is just a frame to be able to cuddle, to be able to pack the picture that you want to put or anything you want to put in it. Now that is for the element. So I hope I've answered your question, Emmanuel. Yeah. Okay, for videos then, so I'm going to go back to the home page, right? Imagine you want to do an ad for a Pepsi company or promo video, short promo video. Canva got you covered, actually. So all I just want to do is to search here. Okay. All right, you're welcome. So all I just have to do is to search here. Video. Let's say promo video. Now let's see what it's going to give us. Okay, so Esther, I hope you're still with me though. Now this is the video it's giving us, right? This is just like a template of what you're actually looking for. Now it can give you in two sizes, either as a landscape. Landscape means YouTube type of video, or as um, a portrait shape, for example. A portrait means TikTok type of video. So this is landscape, YouTube type. This is portrait, TikTok type. Now you want to do, for example, marketing for a promo for a TikTok Pepsi company, for example. You just have to find the template that suits you and change everything, right? You just have to find the template that suits you and change everything and also add some things. For example, but what if we want to make it quick? What if we want to find something that looks so similar to it, right? So you mentioned ad for Pepsi. Okay, now let's say since we're talking about a drink, for example, let's say add video for a wine company. Okay, let's click on this first. Yeah, so it gives us different templates that we could use. Now, if you click on this, it's going to show you a video, right, about it. But remember what I said before, that not all the features are open to us because some of them are paid version actually. So it's going to tell you, oh, you should pay. Well, it's actually 2,800 actually. But that's just it, right? So when you click on it, it's going to um open, and then give you the opportunity for you to click on or to change things as they are. Promo video for a wine company or um for Coke or for Coke company. Coke. Coke. Cola. Since Coke is famous, let's see if Canva has something for us. Also, when searching for things, you could literally change the category. So if you want it to be a mobile video, mobile video is a normal video, right? On your phone that shows the landscape of your phone. If you want it to be a landscape video, like YouTube videos, you can change that. If you want it to be a TikTok video, if you want it to be a Facebook's video, the size of a Facebook, right? About your story for IG or Instagram post or Instagram post video, it's going to show up like that. Letterhead, newsletter, it's going to be like that. Ever you want it to be. What about the style? If you want it to be promo, it's going to show promo. Like, for example, we said promo video for Coke company. If you want it to be modern, it's going to be modern, animated, minimalist, corporate, professional, simple, bold. So you can literally tell it what style you want: artistic, new, vintage, black and white, collage, classic, photo, tech, anything like that. Now, I said it before that Coke is really famous. Let's see if it gives us something like that. And it did, actually. So it gave us this, gave us this, gave us this, actually. Yeah, so that's just how it is. You can literally change it to be however you want. So I'm going to I'm going to say, do I want animated? Okay, let's say animated, for example. These are animated, by the way. This is animated, right? Let me say promo. Let's say promo. Okay, this is promo. This is promo. This is promo. I'm just trying to look for the best one to show an example with. Okay. Um, let's see. Nope. Let's try this one. Okay, so let's customize this. I just want to show you an example of something. So even if Canva would not give us the exact thing we're looking for, it is left for us to customize it to then fit what we want, right? And when customizing it, they've given us the opportunity for us to change it to however we want, right? To add any element we literally want to add. Now you can see that. Let me play this for you to see. Yeah, something like this. You can duplicate this, right? Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, so you can change this, right, to a Coke, for example, to a Pepsi, for example, right? Hold on. Element. Now I want to change, let me say Pepsi. Let's see if Canva have it does have Pepsi bottle. Yeah, so it does have a Pepsi. Mm, yeah, so it'll literally have a Pepsi. So we can, change this, put a Pepsi there, and something like that. Now, you might also be thinking, what else can it do? Or what else can we do to make this amazing? Do you see where it says animate? Do you see rise? Do you see pan? Do you see fade? Do you see blur? Do you see white? Do you see pop? Do you see succession? Do you see breath? Do you see baseline? That's just literally what you can do, right? To enhance your video. So we're not talking about motion graphic today. So that's why I'm not going to go deep into it. Else I would have shown you a full tutorial on how to do this to come out with a super amazing ad video. You could literally add another scene to make it, more longer. Let me just say something from our vid, just to give you an idea of how vast it can be if I don't give a um specific thing I'm looking for. Now, this is another video you can actually customize. You can customize the face. You can remove this people actually. And this is another thing you can customize. Customize it to dim fit what you want. Motion graphic actually. This is another one. This is also another one. There are lots of them, right? And like I said before, we don't have to delve into it too much. So because we're not talking about motion graphic today. But basically, this is how it is, and this is it. If you know how to, or if you've practiced so much in it, you'd be able to do so much more with it. And I promise you, you're not going to regret this. I hope I've answered your question, Esther. Okay, all right. So that's nice. And of course, Joseph, you're going to get this recording, right? After the class or, before 24, before the end of 24 hours. So I think that is it for today. There's always assignment, right? Assignment is not for us um to feel bad about. Should I use the word bad about? But no, it's for you to try it out. When people have a specific thing to do, when you're being given project to do, you feel the need to do it, right? But when I just say, please practice more on this, you just look at it as, okay, I would practice, of course, I'm going to practice, but you're not going to do that. So let's do something like this. Um, why don't you guys give me a simple flyer, right? A simple flyer about this boot camp, right? I want you to be inspired by something like I don't want to give you a direct thing because I don't want you to feel entitled to that word or to that thing that I said. So I'm just going to allow you to be inspired, right, by this boot camp, right? So I want you to make a flyer about it, a flyer that tells a story about this boot camp, right? So you want to think about it. Is it to promote this boot camp? Is it to um is it to advertise the boot camp? You want to think about it, right? Then give me a flyer about it. And when you're done, right, you can literally post it on the group, right? For everyone to see. Or you can just slide into the one of the admin DM and just put it there. So you should give me a flyer to tell a story about this bootcamp, whether to promote it, advertise it, or to call people to join this bootcamp, something like that. Using Canva, by the way, using Canva. I hope everyone got the assignment. If you don't understand this assignment, this is the only chance to ask me here. But you can still ask, by the way. I would just convey it again and they can just post it on the group. But you have to ask me again if you don't understand the assignment. 1 minute to gather your thoughts, and we're out of here. Okay, so I guess some people did not understand, and that's fine. Even if I was the one, I wouldn't even understand what I just said. Anyway, what I mean is that I need a simple flyer, right? A flyer. If you want me to put it plain, I'm going to put it plain. Just give me a flyer that promotes this boot camp. So what is the name of this boot camp, right? Is it Espoir, right? You know, a name that something, a flyer. You might have seen our flyer, right? So I want you to do something similar, but not the same. This is for yourself, right? This is coming from you. Something that promotes this bootcamp. I would have said, please give me a flyer of any brand, right? But I don't want to use, I want everything to go in one single order. So that is why I'm going to use this bootcamp. So give me a flyer about this bootcamp. Do you understand? If you don't understand, you can just say it again. I'm ready to explain this 100 times. I just don't want to waste your time, but I have plenty of time. A flyer about this bootcamp. Okay. Somebody has a, okay, that's fine. So Rejoice, is it show Liz? Do you get the assignment or you're still lost? Okay. All right. Where should we send it to? All right, that's perfect. So it's simple. When you're done, you can send it to the group, right? But if you're shy to send it to the group, you can send it to the admin of the group, one of the admin of the group. Is that understood? I think that answers your question. Show Liz. Yes, there's a deadline for the assignment. There's always a deadline before the next class. Before the next class, but not a day to the next class, so that we can actually assess the assignment. Yes, so before the next class, what are the things to be in the flyers? I mean, are we to promote the boot camp or what? Now, that is where I mean by story. You can put anything in the flyer, right? That was what I mean by you should be able to tell a story about it. It shouldn't be a literal story because too much words on a flyer is going to make the flyer look like trash, right? So whatever line or content you want to be in the flyer that you think would be able to promote the boot camp, right, should be in it, right? So I cannot tell you what you should put in there because I want you to be to improvise, right? So you can find out what is the brand color for this boot camp for the academy or not. Okay, you want to design a flyer for your ICT skill, e.g. web design, graphics, etc. Yeah, of course you can do that, right? But remember what I said. In order for us to have a uniform design, right? That is why I'm saying it should point out to the academy. Now, there is another thing we can do, right? I can also use your idea. So you want to design as a flyer for your skill. You can do that, but the name that should be there wouldn't be your brand name or wouldn't be your name actually, right? It's going to be the academy's name. But you could do the same thing, but the name that would be there would be different. And this is because I want it to be in a uniform order, right? So I hope you got that. Okay. So let's get an answer from Yusuf, then we're out of here. I hope you got that. All right, so without further ado, without no question more, we can literally call this a day. We can call it a day here, right? So this assignment is for you to have one thing in mind, okay? Is it necessary, please, is it necessary that the color in the flyer be the same with the book brand? Okay. So we're having different ideas, right? You know, let's just do it this way. We want to have a unique, remember what I talked about, uniform order, right? The academy, the boot camp color, right, is, we can just say, let's use the color blue, purple, and you know what? You can literally use any brand color, right? You can literally use any color. Let's just use any color. Any color you didn't fit, but let's just do something that promotes the boot camp for a start. And then we can start doing any brand of our choice. We'll also take it from there. So I hope that answers your question. We can literally use any color, but it should promote the boot camp. Now, disclaimer, right? We're not going to use your design for anything. Okay, we're not going to sell it. No, we're not going to do that. Actually, we just want to assess how you can go from here, because everything we teach you is for your own good. Okay, so when it's good, we give it a pass mark. When it's not, we try to amend it with you. Okay, so you could literally use any brand color, but let's see how it goes from there. Okay. So without no further questions, we'll call it a day here. I'll see you guys in the next class. We'll talk to you rather in the next class. To have a nice day, everyone.